What's up, everybody? Today I'm here with a little Jets rebuild. We're going to talk about the roster and then go through a little three-round mock draft. Jets have the second overall pick, a decent amount of money, and a very bad roster. At least they do have their head coach, so we have a small basis to go off of. But outside of that, roster is pretty thin, and we're going to start. So these are the free agents projected for the Jets. The new league year starts in March, and I don't really see much to re-sign here. I mean, Andre Cisco, he could be a valuable asset on a one-year deal. Tyrod Taylor, very up there in age, he might even retire. John Simpson is definitely worth taking a look at to re-sign, as well as players like Isaiah Oliver and Breece Hall. Now, do I think any of these people will actually be re-signed or extended to a certain long-term contract? I don't believe so. John Simpson is probably going to get a 1 or 2 year deal. Cisco might walk. Taylor might not even resign, as I said. Quincy Williams is definitely not resigning. And Vera-Tucker, even though he's a very solid player, very versatile, he's often injured. He's not going to be a Jet next year. Now, the conversation about Breece Hall can start here. Obviously, he's a very good player. He rebounded pretty well after the ACL tear and was pretty much the only productive player on the Jets offense once Garrett Wilson went down. The Jets did not trade him for a fourth round pick to the Chiefs. Now, the thought process for that has to be, yeah, we're going to definitely re sign him in the offseason. But he did request a trade twice throughout the season and one right next to the trade deadline. He's going to field a lot of money. The market value of 10 a year, he's probably going to fetch about 12 with the cap going up. Outside of that, only Jay Tufele and Kane Wangu catch my eye. John Mechie's definitely going to stay on the team. He's a restricted free agent. Same with Jawan Briggs, who kind of had a very good end of the season once they traded Quinnen Williams. Now, the Jets obviously need a few positions, namely QB, even though they still have Fields under contract. This is a bad QB class, both in the draft and in free agency. I really don't see them signing anyone worth starting. Probably a Marcus Mariota. After trading Sauce Gardner, they definitely need cornerback. Again, it's definitely a difficult cornerback class. Got dudes like Amik Robertson who have potential, even though he's coming off his worst pro year. Taylor Kohu coming off an injury intrigues me. I think he fits well in the Aaron Glenn defense. Greg Newsome had a tough playoff game against the Buffalo Bills. I think Roger McCreary intrigues me here, mainly a backup role after being traded from the Titans to the Rams. But he's still young. He'll be 26 next year, and he's still a solid player. When it comes to the Jets cornerback room, they really have nothing. If the Dolphins are crazy enough to let Rasul Douglas hit the open market, the Jets should definitely jump on that. He had a fantastic year, a Pro Bowl caliber year for Rasul Douglas, even though he's a bit older. The next thing the Jets definitely need is linebacker. We got a few older linebackers hitting free agency. Would be a crazy story to have 37-year-old Demario Davis not retire and opt to return to the Jets for a second stint. Guys like Devin Bush and Devin Lloyd that really intrigue me here. Obviously, the different value, different types of year, but Devin Bush has had a career resurgence in that Jim Schwartz defense. I don't think he'll leave it, but if they don't offer him a contract, then he's game for anyone else, and the Jets really need a linebacker. Same with Devin Lloyd. If the Jags opt not to re-sign him, I think he's a perfect fit. He's a do-it-all linebacker that definitely stops the run and had a lot of interceptions this year. Nakobe Dean, another name, very injured, but when he's healthy, he's a top 5 linebacker, off-ball linebacker in the league. A little bit undersized coming out of Georgia, but it really doesn't matter. He's a very good linebacker. Devin White could go from the Raiders to the Jets if he hits the open market. He's just a tackle machine, very bad in coverage. But in the right defense, he might be able to hit his stride again, kind of like he did this year. He was like top 6 in tackles in the NFL. Now, when it comes to the current roster, Justin Fields has to go. Probably gonna do a post June 1st cut because they don't really have anyone else to cut. There's a decent dead cap, 13 million, but they save a decent amount of money as well. They do have a lot of cap space, top 5 in the league. There's no one else I'd really want to cut. I'm sure Harrison Phillips can go. He's an older player. He's a nose tackle. And listen, the rest of this team is just bad. You don't really have to cut anyone when you're bad and a bunch of young players. The Jets are projected to be the third team in cap room with about 80 something million, 87 million. That'll go up in the new league year, and then it'll go down with the dead money and cuts and whatever and signings. Now to the mock draft. The Jets will have 4 picks, 2 firsts and 2 seconds in this mock draft. So Dante Moore did go back to school, unfortunately, kind of the whole reason I'm making this video for the Jets. I already did a mock draft for the Raiders, and yeah, they will go Mendoza first overall. Now the Jets are in a very tough predicament. There's no QB worth it here. It's probably going to have to be edge rusher. I don't think I see a receiver going at the spot, and usually offensive line is that other position outside of edge that you'll take in the top 3, but their offensive line is spectacular at the offensive tackle position. Now, personally, I think Ruben Bain is the best edge rusher, but I'm going to go with Arvell Reese. The main reason I'm going to go with Arvell Reese at that position is he is an off-ball linebacker, and you know that his floor, at least as an off-ball linebacker, is pretty solid. He can stop the run. He has great hands at the point of attack. Why would you risk it and go Ruben Bain? Because if he does not work out at edge, then you can't really move him around. Yeah, you could try him at three tech defensive tackle, but it doesn't really fit the defense that the Jets run. They have decent edge rushers in Will McDonald and Jermaine Johnson, but they're nothing stellar. I think you add Arvell Reese to that group, and you have someone that can stop the run, both at the linebacker position and the edge rusher position, and that's someone you can develop to be an elite edge rusher. Now the conversation here for Ty Simpson can start. I don't think it's early for Ty Simpson. I just don't love the fit for the Jets. The Jets are where QBs go to die, and if you're going to throw Ty Simpson to the Wolves, it's just not worth it. You're going to have to sign a veteran QB or draft someone later on for a QB pick to make any sense. Now, for anyone talking about, oh yeah, they're going to get Kyler Murray or Malik Willis, we just want to look at the cap number here. They're still paying Aaron Rodgers. They're going to be paying Justin Fields after they release him. Now, I'm cool with going out and getting someone like Kyler Murray to start for you, but again, your team is not built to throw a QB in and expect them to do well. If Kyler Murray is released and they sign him to a specific deal, maybe 2 years, it's probably going to go as well as it did this year with Justin Fields, which is not well at all. I don't think it's smart to sign a big name QB. You want to go ahead and sign Marcus Mariota. He's shown flashes as a starter, but you know he's not your franchise guy. Go ahead. I think that's the smarter decision. But to go out and draft someone and overdraft and reach on a Ty Simpson, or go out and sign Kyler Murray or maybe Tua Tagovailoa, I mean, these are just not logical signings for a team that's not in this position. The Jets are nowhere near the playoffs. I don't see a reason to go out and splash on a QB. We have Mansour Delane here. This would be a fantastic pick. You can argue Mauanoa would be a good pick here, and he would be a fantastic pick. I do not see any way that Francis Mauanoa is available at pick 16. Instead, I'm going to go Caden McDonald. He's a great player, nose tackle slash two tech that you can play a little bit across the line, but he's fantastic at stopping the run. He can get after the passer a little bit, and that's really what they need after losing Quinnen Williams. The Jets have just retooled their defensive line with two Ohio State players, Arvell Reese and Caden McDonald. Now we have to go look at a potential pass catcher and a cornerback. I'm going to start right here. Omar Cooper Jr. has not officially declared for the draft, but I have a first-round grade on him. If he's there, I'm going to take him 100 times out of 100. He's a great player. He can stretch the field. He's going to be a great complement to Garrett Wilson. And then they also have depth at John Mechie and Adonai Mitchell. Chris Johnson is available, but I do not see him being available here. He's definitely a first-round player. Keontae Scott I took for the Raiders. I don't want to be repetitive. We've been put in a pickle here for the New York Jets, but I think I'm going to go Julian Neal, cornerback from Arkansas. He's got very good size. I'm not going to say he's Ahmad Gardner, Sauce Gardner, but he's definitely got size to him. Good man coverage. Probably had his best year tackling. He had a decent year. He's got some ball skills, 4 picks in 2 years at Arkansas. But he's a big corner, boundary player, which is what the Jets really need right now. I don't think Dalen Everett fits too well in the Jets. I also don't think he's better than Julian Neal. Chandler Rivers I'd consider, but he's smaller, and the Jets definitely need size on defense. PFF is dissing my draft, giving Julian Neal an F and Omar Cooper a D, but we're attacking positions of need, positions of value, edge rusher, D tackle, wide receiver, and corner. Look for the Jets to target linebacker in the later rounds, as well as running back in case Breece Hall is tagged on a 1-year deal and then leaves after 2026. Depth at guard or tackle in case of injury, and then safety. They have a few scrappy guys. Tony Adams, potential resign. Same with Andre Cisco. But safety is definitely a need for the Jets, and you could get that later with their day 3 picks. That's about it. Have I retooled the Jets at all? No, not really. They still have no QB. But next year, 2027, they have 3 first-round picks, and I can't really look at what the draft could be. Arch Manning, obviously, and with 3 first-round picks, who knows? They could use all 3 to move up to pick 1, maybe even some second-rounders. They have 2 next year. So I just wanted to build a little bit of a basis for the Jets. If I were GM Darren Moogie, the key players I would sign are cornerback Kader Kohou from the Miami Dolphins, linebacker Nakobe Dean from the Philadelphia Eagles. If he hits the open market, tight end Kyle Pitts from the Atlanta Falcons. And then in the draft, as we see here, attack edge rusher, the D-line, and a little bit of pass catchers on offense. I'll be covering all the breaking news on my Twitter and my Instagram page under the same name, Draft Lives Here. Go follow along the journey there, as well as the Senior Bowl and Shrine Bowl are coming up this week. I will be posting whether it's breaking news or clips from the events, as well as MVPs, stock up, stock down from the practice days, and all the good stuff that you would usually expect from an account like mine. So go drop a follow. Outside of that, that's about it for this video. I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you.